Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Luminosity Muse, where we do tarot readings, pick a card readings, astrology, and we talk about personal development and all things spiritual. We also do a bit of manifestation too, which is fun. So if you're into any of that, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It really helps out my channel and I really appreciate you for it. And if at any point in this video something calls out to you, something speaks to you, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to chat with you about it. Without further ado, let's talk about what this reading is today. We are doing a timeless collective reading, so whenever you see this reading, know that it is meant for you at that time. You are meant to have to see this reading then. And our topic for today is a manifestation check. Where your manifestation is, what's the situation, what could be blocking it, diving deeper into that block, and how we can move that along. We can move it forward. And what practical things we can do right now to release this block. And yeah, let's get into the reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look what this blockage or what you're manifesting into your life could be. It is a general reading, so we'll see how specific it can get. I'm guessing that it's not, but we can at least see where your manifestation is, what its current status is. I did make this into a timeless collective reading, so if it doesn't resonate with you, if the situation is not resonating, totally understand. If you'd like, you can go ahead and pick one of my other videos, something that will resonate with you more. Or I do put out the intention whenever making collective readings like this that there's something in it for everyone. So if you do want to keep watching, maybe there's something in the rest of the reading that resonates with you, and that one piece can help you in unblocking your manifestation wherever it might be blocked. So yeah, just letting you guys know. Let's see what we have. I did get two of these cards that popped out. We have you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. That's very good to hear. We have communication is key, new moon and Gemini. Gemini could be a strong factor for those of you guys that are in this reading. That energy could be very prominent in whatever you're trying to achieve. Or Gemini, that could be you or someone that you know that could be influencing this. And then we have 37, gray, endings are inevitable. Okay, and then your chakra cards are facade, prayer, and these are both solar plexus chakras. Okay, all right, so let's talk about what's going on here first. So for a lot of you that are in this reading or seeing this now, you are actually very, very close to your manifestation. It's very close to manifesting. There's just, it's definitely, the blockage is definitely about faith. It could be faith in the whole manifestation process itself, or it can be faith in yourself and confidence in yourself and confidence into bringing this in. Communication, I'm hearing, okay, this is going to be a very esoteric reading. I do always try to add in as much practicality as I can into these readings, so it's something that you can take action on, but sometimes you just need messages you need to hear so that you can move forward with certain things in your life. But the communication is key that I'm getting here is, one, you need to really communicate with your guides, your spiritual team, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever your prayer is or who your prayer is for. You need to communicate that more clearly. Maybe like towards the end of this goal, since this is like close to the very end, the universe is just tweaking things in the background, and they just need a little bit more direction, and that would also be good for you. So I do recommend for some of you looking back in your manifestation, whether that's a vision board, whether it's your journaling, or maybe if you haven't done that, then that might be a good idea to really get a clear idea of what it is that you actually want in your life. For some of you, it could be, and I feel like it's a lot of you actually, you could have gone through an ending. This could have been very recent. Maybe you're going through it right now, or something that passed. I can keep getting like a month ago or maybe, or something. It could have been an epiphany that something needs to change that you might have gotten like a month ago. That might be just the message for some of you. And part of the fear that I'm getting with this is maybe it's not manifesting in how you expected it, and the fear that's coming up and the blockage that you need to work through has a lot to do with control. Maybe it's not coming in how you expected it to, or it's not unfolding how you wanted it, or you clearly envisioned it, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. It just could be different from what you expected, and that's not a bad thing, because sometimes we don't always know what the universe's plan is. Maybe this is just like an extreme example. Maybe for some of you, you had to leave a job, or maybe you were forced to leave a job, and maybe this could have been about a relationship, and those are very extreme examples. It could be something much more simple as an ending, and something more mundane. What I'm trying to say is endings are inevitable. Endings happen everywhere, and this can be in many things. It can be something as extreme as losing a job, or it can be as small and mundane as a TV show that you really love ending. But the point is, there's always something new. There's always something beautiful and dreamy on the horizon, like it is here. And what you're being asked is to have the confidence in yourself and being yourself, and working through this blockage of faith, and know that you're being guided to get to where you want to be. And just because there's a snag in your plan doesn't mean that everything is over. It just means that maybe the way that you fully envisioned it, or maybe even the route, like maybe it was a route that you're like, okay, it's going to be this is going to happen, and then once I get there, this is going to happen, and then finally I'll get to my goal. Maybe the universe saw a different way that was more efficient, because of blockages that you have, or limiting beliefs that you have regarding the life that you're trying to build, or the goal that you're trying to achieve. So that is something to keep in mind. Let's dive deeper into this with your tarot cards, and I want to get back to this. Communication is key, because I know there's a lot more to that, but we'll get into that. Okay, so we have Three of Pentacles. What's the saying? Teamwork makes the spell work. Two of Pentacles. When life gets chaotic, find a way to get grounded and balanced. Ten of Wands. Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Ten of Cups. Okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. Okay, so continuing on the message of this blockage, there's a lot about here about relinquishing control. I'm getting this message that you're trying to do it all yourself. And maybe even, okay, for some of you, maybe this is even about leadership, because that could be, the solar plexus can also do with that, because it has to do with confidence and personal power and empowerment. because we have the Three of Pentacles here. So maybe in the past, like I said, this is just an example. Maybe you had to be a group leader of something, whether it's camp or like a group project, and you feel like you didn't do as well. And that fear is just holding you back. You think the past is going to repeat itself. But at the same time, well, that was actually a tangent. Sorry, you guys have... sorry. Let's take a moment here because I am feeling so much anxious energy from this reading. And one of the things that you really need, and I'm feeling, is just to release and let go. Release of needing to have that control over this. And also, I do want to point out, before I started this reading, I was going crazy around my filming area because I was looking for this like specific deck, and it's funny because I didn't even end up using that deck for this reading, and I was going crazy because I couldn't find it, and it was right there in front of me, and I just kept thinking, it's not there, it's not there, I don't have it, I don't have it. And that's a message in itself that there needs to be some detachment to this, because I think you've gotten so close to it that you are focusing on that instead of seeing that the manifestation is right there. So before I dive deeper into that, let's just take a quick deep breath. Go ahead and inhale in. Hold it at the top for a few seconds. And then release. Okay, so let's get back into these two cards. I do feel like there is a theme here as a block of needing to have control over everything. And even with the Ten of Wands here, the universe is trying to tell you you're making this too difficult by forcing it to be a certain way. And I don't mean the manifestation itself, because the universe knows deep down what it is that you really want, and your end goal. They see that. The problem, a lot of the times the problem when we're trying to manifest something is that we plan out the trajectory of it. And a lot of the times there's a lot of things that we don't see that the universe sees more than we do. And that's something that you have to let go of, because I think the end goal, especially being so close to your goal, is right there. Maybe you see like 10 more steps and the universe is like, no, you're right here. You're right on the steps. You literally could be right here shouting for help for whoever is in that building. And be like, hey, can somebody help me like carry these in? Or maybe you can even drop it, go in, grab some people, and then have them help like carry these candles in. I feel like you're right there, and I think you're catastrophizing the ending that you just had and being too focused on that and thinking that it's not going to work out when it actually is. And part of it could also just be because things have been really busy. You've had to juggle a lot of things, and you're having trouble trying to figure out being balanced because you want everything to be in a certain way, which brings up, there's a lot here about control, you guys. You gotta release it. And also about relinquishing control. There's a message with this about letting others help you, or even not even just having them help you. I just heard this message in my head, for those of you that watch Friends. For those of you that don't know it, there's a character named Monica who's really competitive, and she's really all about the control. And I remember her saying this quote, I can't even fully like get it now, but something about like, oh, it's just a fancy word for lose or something like that. I think the word itself is something else, but what I was getting is that teamwork is a fancy word for lose, and that's not true. That's not true at all. And I'm pretty sure that's not the quote now that I'm remembering it, but that's what was coming up in my head. And that could be a limiting belief or like a childhood wound that you had, that maybe you feel like if you're not the one doing it all, then it's not going to turn out the way you want it, or it's not going to turn out as well. People are a lot more capable than we think, and a lot of the times we just need to lean in for their help. There are people that want to help you. And here's the thing. Okay, here's where this Gemini card is coming in, where communication is key. Oh, that's interesting. I just got a message that maybe someone in the past was working on a project, or maybe they were a manager of a team, and their team is just not doing things the way that they want them. They're scared to delegate now because maybe their team messed something up and like it was very hard to recover from. It's not gonna happen that way again, and that was in the past. You need to let that go, and you need to learn to be okay with delegating things to others. But here's the thing, make sure that you're communicating well. It is okay to communicate with your team and people if they're not doing things correctly. And maybe they don't even know that they're not doing it correctly. Sometimes we don't want to talk to others, and this doesn't even have, you don't even have to be a manager. This could be maybe just your teammates and your coworkers and things like that. They might not even be aware of your viewpoint inside of this. They might not even be aware that they're doing something wrong. But if you don't tell them, or nobody ever tells them, then they're going to keep doing it. So keep that in mind. And in terms of just passing these blockages or things that might be hindering you right now, because I do feel like you're really close to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, but you need to let this be more simple than it actually is, and believe that you are going to get there, and then it is going to be everything that you wanted it to be. Even if the path there wasn't what you thought it was going to be, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get this. It doesn't mean that it won't be all rainbows and smiles, because it is. It will be. It's right here. You got the 10 of Cups. All right. I think I'm just going in a circle now, because I think the message is pretty clear. And it's repeating itself. So let's go ahead and get our ending message. Okay. Oh, and we got 2. So let's start with this one first. I challenge myself to recognize when my beliefs may be leading me to assume I know what others may be thinking about me. I step into my highest potential when I choose to drop expectations I may have of how others may respond to me, and express myself authentically, regardless of the reaction I may receive from others. Yeah, as I was saying, this could all be about expectations. Maybe for those of you, I do feel like there are some people here that are managers, and maybe you have a certain viewpoint of what a manager should be, or what a leader should be. And you're worried about what others are thinking of you. Listen, we all lead in different ways. Okay, we all have our own strengths. And from what I see from you is that it's there. You just need to let go of what others are thinking and what expectations of others. Meet your own expectations. Start with that. Start with yourself. Okay, and then the second one is, I affirm that I do not have to fight or prove to anyone that I am worthy of the life I wish to lead, as it is my birthright. Right, exactly. That's what we were just talking about. When I am ready, I will put down my weapons and sit with the pain so that I may identify what I have the power to shift in my environment in order to restore the foundation on which I am building my life. Yeah, you guys, it sounds cheesy, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in what it is that you're building. That's part of manifestation work, is to believe in it and to believe that you are there, that you are achieving it. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure that you subscribe and like. I appreciate you so much for being here. If any of this resonated, go ahead and leave me some loving emoji down below, maybe a heart, gold heart for the solar plexus chakra here, or let's chat. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And again, thank you for being here. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.